Hello, people. How are you guys doing? I hope great. You're listening to your friend Ashish, and today we are gonna talk about an object. We're gonna learn what is an object. We're gonna learn what is a direct object, what is an indirect object, how are they different from each other, and how to find them out in a sentence. So, these are the things that we will learn in this lesson. Hope you guys are ready because I'm ready. Let's kick this lesson off. What is an object? An object is something or somebody that receives an action, that the action is acted upon. Alright, it is something or somebody that receives an action. Alright, now whenever you perform an action, whosoever or whatsoever receives that action is your object. Okay, so we have two types of objects. One is called a direct object, and the other one is called an indirect object. Let's start with a direct object first. A direct object is something that receives an action directly, as the name goes, direct object, right? So we can find out just by the name that it is something that directly receives an action, alright? And let me tell you guys, it is generally a thing, alright? It is generally a thing. So let's take some examples and understand this. Sona loves Chinese food. Alright, what does he love? If you ask this question, you get your direct object, which here is Chinese food. Sona loves Chinese food, right? What receives her love here? Chinese food. Yep. She can break your face. She can break your face. What is our direct object here? It's quite simple, man. What can she break? If you ask this question, you get your object, your face. Object here is face. Your is a modifier that is modifying the word face. So your complete object would be your face. Alright. She can break what? Your face. Hell yeah, she can do that. Let's take one more example. Madhav plays the guitar. What does Madhav play? If you ask the question, you get your direct object, which is the guitar. Alright, that's how easy it is, man. Guys, all you gotta do is, whenever you want to find a direct object, all you gotta do is ask the question what or whom to the verb. Whatever the answer comes is your direct object. Alright. Madhav plays what? The guitar. Alright, that's our answer. That's our direct object. Now, a few seconds back I said a direct object is generally a thing, right? Which is true. But it can be a person too. Let me show you some examples now. Yesterday a man killed Mr. Jerry. Yesterday a man killed Mr. Jerry. Who got killed yesterday? Mr. Jerry. Poor Mr. Jerry, right? So Mr. Jerry is a direct object. Here Mr. Jerry is not a thing. He's a person, right? So a direct object can be a person too. Let's take one more example. Everybody loves Ashish. Everybody loves Ashish. Now what is a direct object here? Whom does everybody love? If you ask this question, you get your answer, Ashish. Ashish is a lovely person, right? Everybody loves him. Alright, so we have a direct object here, which is Ashish. Alright, so guys, I told you it is generally a thing, but it can be a person too. Now let us understand what is an indirect object. Guys, an indirect object is the person that receives the direct object. Alright, it is somebody who the action is done for or done to, right? So you can simply say this person, indirect object, is the beneficiary of the direct object. Direct object goes to simply indirect object. Alright, now in order to have an indirect object in your sentence, you must have a direct object. If your sentence does not have a direct object in it, it can never have an indirect object too. So always remember, in order to have an indirect object in your sentence, you must have a direct object too. Alright, let's take some examples and understand this. Rohan explained me the question. Now, before we find out the indirect object, let's find the direct object out first. Alright, Rohan explained what? Rohan explained the question. Right? Now, who is receiving the explanation of the question? If you ask, you get your indirect object, me, right? The explanation of the question is getting received by me. So me here is our indirect object, right? Okay, let's take one more example. I lended Abhi $5 million. Before we find out the indirect object, guys, let's just find out the direct object first. I lended what? I lended what? $5 million. Alright. Okay, that's a huge amount of money. Alright, who's receiving this? Let's find the indirect object now. Who's receiving this? Who's receiving this huge amount of money, $5 million? Abhi, right? So Abhi is our indirect object. Abhi is receiving this direct object, which is $5 million, right? I landed Abhi $5 million. I landed what? $5 million. I landed whom? Abhi, right? So this lucky guy Abhi is receiving $5 million. Alright, great. Let's take one more example. I bought my mother a necklace. I bought my mother a necklace. First of all, before we find out the indirect object, let's find out the direct object. I bought what? A necklace. I bought a necklace. Now, who is receiving this necklace? Who's the lucky one? My mother, right? So my mother is the indirect object. I bought what? A necklace. I bought for whom? My mother, right? So a necklace is your direct object. My mother is your indirect object. It's quite simple, guys, right? An indirect object is somebody that receives the direct object, is somebody that the action is done for. All right. So that's about the video, guys. I hope you learned a lot through this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, share this video with your friends, with your family members, and if you guys have any questions, do share that in the comment section below. I'm working only for you guys. All right, so make sure you do all of that, and I'll see you very soon. Till that, have fun, keep learning. Ashish is out.